Hey everybody, it's Stephanie with 210 God's Masterpiece, and today I'm here doing a tutorial on some paper flower embellished paper clips that I got a request from. I posted these flowers on my group that I'm on Facebook, and I had a ton of likes, and her name is Kim Stevenson. Hi Kim. Kim is the one that requested a tutorial for how I put these together. So thank you so much, Kim, for liking and asking for a tutorial for these. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need, of course, is paper clips. And I got these at Walmart. They come with two sizes, one on each side. This is the larger one, and it is 2 inches. And this is the smaller one. If I can get just one out. The smaller one, and that is just a little bit over 1 inch. So today we're going to be using the smaller ones, the 1 inch. So I'll get a couple of those out because we're going to make 2 paper clips and set those to the side. The other thing you're going to need, I'm going to show you these first. That might help if I actually show you the cute little flowers that I made. These are the flowers, and this is the flowers that I posted on Facebook, but we're going to make they're going to be the same, but I'm going to use different centers for these, and we're going to do another option with one of the other flowers as well. We're going to add something to it. So those are the flowers. Set those off to the side. And the centers for those, I used this bead set. I got this at Walmart, and I believe it was $9.99. And there's just a ton of really fun gold, bronze, silver beads in here. So a lot of fun, really cheap. Got those at Walmart. The one centers I'm going to use for today's video, I'm going to use a rhinestone for one, and I'm going to use these enamel dots for the other flower. So anything you want to use for your center beads, rhinestones, enamel dots, you could use sequins, anything you want to use to put in your center. You're also going to need a 5-petal flower punch. This is a Martha Stewart one, and I bought this on Amazon. And if this is what you would like to purchase, or if you already have it, it is the one that came with the stamp set so that you can punch it and stamp it. So if you want to look for this one, I believe they sell it at Michael's and Hobby Lobby also. I think it's a pretty popular one. So a 5-flower petal punch, and this is pretty small. The flowers are 1 inch. So this is a 1 inch size 5-petal flower. You're also going to need a circle punch. This one's really small. It's 5/8 of an inch. It's made by Recollections, and I don't know if Hobby Lobby and Michael's both sell them or if it's just one, but this is 5/8 inch. It's pretty small. So go out and get a 5/8 inch hole punch. And you're also going to need a magazine. I have a ton of National Geographics. I go to a lot of estate sales, so I get National Geographics. I think I have over 100 of them, and they go back to the 1960s. And I just love some of the pictures in here to use for collaging. So get yourself a good magazine. It doesn't matter which one you get, but you need a magazine. You're also going to need a small paintbrush. I'm going to rinse that one out because I used it. A pen, some scissors, and then you're going to need all of your flowers cut out, which I cut mine out already, but I'm going to show you here real quick. When you look through your magazine, for me, I always look for something that's pretty. Like this is a really pretty blue. And I look for something that has text on the other side. So your color on one and your text on the other. This does not have enough text, so I would search for something else. This map would be really cool to use, but again, no text. This is really pretty. That would be real pretty. And this has text. So what I would do is I would tear this page out and then probably cut down this part here. Cut this picture off so that I knew exactly where my text was, and then punch out all of my flowers. Each flower, paperclip flower, you need to punch 6 flowers. So each paperclip, you need 6 punched flowers. All right, So I have 2 left here, and the 2 here is what we're going to use to go through. And I'm going to use my magazine here so you can see hopefully the flowers a little better, and my 2 paper clips. So I went ahead and prepared my stuff, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little embellishing onto the paper flowers. So I did on 4 of them, and what I used is called Liquitex Iridescent Medium. You can buy this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I believe. I don't know how much it cost. I want to say it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive. So a medium range price. But if you bought this, this would last you forever. What it does is it gives a really pretty 3D gloss, sheen, glitter, pearlescent look to what you use it on. And you can also add this to acrylic paint. I've not done it, but from what I understand, if you do that, you have to use darker paints, like a dark black, a purple, brown, red, anything that's darker that you cannot see the iridescent coloring effect if you use it on a lighter color. And then I also forgot to tell you that you will need glossy accents. That's what I use. You could also use E6000, but for the flowers that are paper, I prefer to use glossy accents because it makes, when it dries, it turns into a hard plastic. Well, I don't know if it really is plastic, but that's what it turns into. It gets real hard. And so I think this tends to give more of a stabilization to your flowers. And with it being paper, and especially magazine paper that I use, they're a little bit delicate. So this helps a whole lot with making them a little bit stronger and tougher and be able to hold up with taking them on and off papers. You're also going to do 2 of your 5/8 inch circles for each flower. So 2. So I punched out 4. So I'm going to take those and set my punches to the side. And I am going to go ahead and glue my backing on to my paper clips, the little circles. So I'm going to get 2 of these. I'm going to do this here so I don't glue them on top of my magazine. And I hope I'm still in. Let me scoot this over, make sure I'm still on camera here. And what I do, you want to make sure the little dip part is down. I'm going to put, and this sits on top of things. So you're going to put some on top of the little paper clip, and then you're just going to set it on top of your paper. And we're just going to let that sit and dry. And make sure that you have it in the center. Okay? Same thing on this one. Make sure your little dippy, loopy thing, I don't know, is down. Put your glossy accents on top of your paper clip. And set it on top of your cardstock circle. And I don't know if I said, but these are cardstock. It's not regular paper. It's cardstock. So make sure you use cardstock because it's a little bit thicker and it's going to give you more stabilization to your flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to scoot those over. And I did want to share too, Glossy Accents is made by Ranger. I don't know if I said that, but when you go to Hobby Lobby and Michael's, it is not with the Mod Podge and the glue and all of that stuff. You will find this in the scrapbooking section with the Tim Holtz and the Ranger embellishments. He has, you know, the alcohol inks, the pearl mediums, and all of that. That's where you're going to find this, because I walked around the store at Michael's, it was where I bought it, and I could not find it anywhere. I finally had to ask somebody to tell me where it was at. So you will find this in the scrapbooking section with Tim Holtz and Ranger products. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead while those are drying. I'm going to show you how to fold the flowers, and I'm also going to show you what the iridescent medium does to your flowers. So if I hold this up here and kind of move it around, you should be able to see it adds a really pretty, and I'm sure on camera it's not near as pretty as it is in person, but it adds a really shimmery, it gives it a little bit of a 3D effect, texture. It is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. And so you add that on. We're going to add that onto the flower, and you can see it on this side too. Look at how pretty that is. It's just gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so we're going to add that because that's going to take a minute to dry. So I'm just going to squeeze a little drop here on my paper. And I'm going to grab a paintbrush from the other side of my table. And we're just going to paint this real quick. And after you put your coat on, I used my scissors and I just kind of picked that up and moved it. That way it doesn't stick to your paper or whatever you have underneath your work surface, so it's not sticking on there. Oh, got a little dried clump in there. Okay, and I'm going to move that. And we're just going to let that dry for a second. And I'm going to show you how to fold the flowers. Okay, so what you're going to do is you have your flowers. You're going to turn it so your picture side is up and your text is facing down. Now on the punch, the Martha Stewart punch that I have, the petals are not the same. They're different sizes, different widths. So I did find a way to fold this that the petals matched up better. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this up, match up your petals. So you're basically folding it in half. 2 of your petals are going to meet and match. Your 5th petal is going to get folded in half, okay? And then you're going to take that and fold the petals over on top of each other. And that is not folded right. And that's going to drive me bonkers. The petals don't match. Okay, let me try this again. Let me try this one. There we go. Okay, good enough. I'm not going to fold it again. All right, so there you go. So let me fold these really quick. All right, so fold it in half, match your petals up in half, fold it in half again and match the other petals up, and you will have the 1/5 petal sticking off to the side here. Match your petals, fold in half, fold in half again, and there you go. And what you're going to do, you want to make sure that the flap part is up. Don't cut it so the flap is down. Cut it so the flap is up, because if you don't do that, I did some and I actually ended up cutting into the petals and the whole thing fell apart. So what you're going to do is get your scissors with the flap side up and cut that little piece off. Again, flap side up and cut it off. Okay. We'll do all those. And then I'm going to put a second, get these cut pieces out of the way. And I am going to put a second coat because I really want them really glittery and iridescent. All right, and we're going to let that side dry, and then I'm going to put a coat on the other side. Okay. All right, so while that's drying, that is not completely dry, but it'll be fine. Especially when you put it in a pretty thick amount, the glossy accents can take quite a bit to dry. So I'm going to grab the flowers that I already cut out, petals, and that I folded. And I'm going to get my second, let's get that back again. See, I got in a hurry, I forgot to peel that up. It's starting to stick. Okay, move that over to the side. So you're going to get your one circle, the glossy accents. And I'm going to do this, well, I'll be all right. And I'm going to put that on my book. And I lost the cap to this, so if you ever lose the cap to your glossy accents, the little tiny paper clips, look at that, it fits right in there. And so that's what I do, and it keeps it from clogging up and drying out. So I've got this punched and ready to go with my glossy accents. You've got your petals that you can kind of flip around. You want those to the outside and the point towards the center. Okay? So, and you want to kind of try and get it as centered as you can. All right? Your little flaps to the outside of the circle and the point to the center. And the first two that I put on, I usually leave a gap in the center. Otherwise, the other flowers the petals don't seem to fit right. Flaps on the outside. Fill it, just go around and fill it in. And I like to try and turn so the fold is in a different direction, this way or this way, and alternate it a little bit, because that's going to give more dimension to your flower as well. Okay, flaps. And as you can see, it's starting to fill in that leaving that gap. Flaps to the outside, and it pretty much fits in there just perfectly. All right. So there you go, your little petals glued on your back. And we're going to get the rhinestone. I'm going to put the rhinestone on this one. I think I'm going to put the petal on the other one. And I set them off to the side. See, this is what happens. I set stuff, and it's right here. I set stuff off to the side, and usually always is right in front of me. I'm like, what did I do with it? Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Oh, it's right there. Never mind. No panic. Don't panic. It's right there. All right. And this does have the sticky on the back of it, but I would not trust it to stay on for nothing. So I'm going to take it and put my glossy accents in there. And right in the center of my flower, I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to hold it for just a second, just to make sure that I got it on there. And I got a little too much glossy accents on there, but that's okay. I'm going to take this paper clip, and I'm going to go around here. See that? I don't know if you can see it. Too much. Too much, too much. And wipe it off before it dries, because I don't want all that on there. So just a little bit of glossy accents. All right? A little bug flying around. Go away, little bug. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I have an extra petal. How did I have an extra petal? I don't know. Better to have more than not enough, right? Okay, so now we are going to take our back, and we are going to put more glossy accents on top of the paper clip and just a little bit on the paper. And we're going to match up our two circles, just like so. Just like so. And just hold it down for just a second so you get it to bond. And we're going to let that dry, because if we don't and we try and fix the petals, it's going to come apart. And we don't want it to come apart. Okay? So now I'm going to paint the other side of these real quick. And while that's drying, see, I was about to panic again. Where's my paintbrush? It's not here. It's right there. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's all right. It's always right there. And paint this side. Paint this side. All right. And let's move those out of the way. No, don't flip over. Okay. So they don't stick. Set that up there. And we'll go ahead and start putting together this one. I'm going to put this in my water. I would put 2 coats on that, but for time's sake, I'm just going to do 1 coat and let it dry. I'm going to put my paintbrush in water so that it doesn't get ruined. Again, glossy accents on your circle, and your paper, your petals out, the loose side out. Kind of turn your circle around there. Petals out. I don't know why I'm saying petals out. I don't know. The individual pieces out. center them and leave a little bit of a space. And we're going to do the same thing. And fill that gap in. And I'm going to flip that one. Okay. And it's still a little bit wet, but that's all right. That's all right. Ain't got all day, people. Ain't got all day. Get on with it. Get on with it. And then you can cut your little flap off. Same thing with this one. Line up your flowers in half and in half again. Cut your flap off and glue them in. And hopefully that's still wet. It's a little too far. So I'll move that out. And then that one. Okay. And we're going to get our enamel dot. Only a tiny bit of glossy accents. See, I glued this one kind of wonky, so I'm going to have to overlap. So if you do that, just overlap that last one you put on just a tiny bit, our little enamel dot right in the center there, and hold it down. And just so you know, I got these at Dollar Tree, and they come in red, blue. This is like a really kind of a pink, peachy color. Dollar Tree, boy, I tell you what, I love Dollar Tree, and they just have so many cool things that they're starting to carry, and things that you can go in there for crafters, and I'm just absolutely loving it. So don't neglect to go to your Dollar Tree and check them out and see what they might have that you can use. So I just did my glossy accents again on top of my paper clip, and I'm going to hold that together just for a second, and I'm going to set that off to the side to dry. And when you glue it down, I also try and do it so I've got the space in between the petals facing down, not a petal right in the middle of your paper clip there. So a little bit that space in between your petals and not a petal facing down. So look at that. Isn't that just cute? So this one I'm just going to take, and I just kind of fluff it. Can you fluff paper? Paper fluffing. We're fluffing paper. I can't even say that. Fluffing paper, people. That's a tongue twister. Try and say that. Fluffing paper, people. It's kind of like Sally on the seashore with the seashells. Yeah. I'm not weird at all. All right. Look at that. I could sit here and play with the petals all night, I think. All right, look at that. How cute is that? With the little rhinestone in the center. With the blue in that kind of sticks out, a little bit of color. So cute. So cute. Love it. And this is my idea. I did not get this from anybody else. This came out of my little brain, which sometimes I amaze myself. You know, you come up, and I'm sure the same with you guys. You come up with ideas and you're like, wow, that's mine. I came up with that. That's pretty exciting when you come up with it on your own and it's not somebody else's idea. So that was my paper flower idea. Okay, so this is the one that we put the iridescent medium on, and it's dry. And the pages are a little bit, oh, that's still wet. See, that's why I told you to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to try and paper fluff. Fluff and paper. Fluff and paper, people. Take a step back. She's fluffing paper. Watch out. All right. Doing the best I can here. I might start crying. No, I won't start crying. I might. Okay, see, it's moving again. No, don't move. The pages, the petals aren't stuck together. It's just, they're a little bit stiffer. So it's harder to grab onto them individually because they are a little bit stiffer and they're just so tiny. And I love working with little things. Like sitting here doing this, it's so fun for me. I love working with little things that are tiny. And of course there's my son, and he knows I'm in here making a video. So he's out there doing whatever it is he's doing. I have no idea, but he knows I'm in here filming. So, all right, look at that. You can see, I don't know if you can see it. I always say that a lot. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. I say that a lot. But the sheen that's on there from the iridescent medium with the little enamel dot is just so pretty. So pretty. And you can see, look at that. You can see that on the back. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love it. I could just sit and look at that all night, but I won't. And I won't bore you with that because I probably could. I'm going to turn that. So I got that little space there. Look at that. Okay. So this is what you can do with your little paper punch and some beads and magazine. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? Not much. I love it. Just love doing this stuff. Okay. So Kim Stevenson, thank you so much for your request and asking me to do a tutorial. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death and it's not too long, because I can be a little long-winded if you didn't notice, and just talk like I'm doing now. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Facebook at 210 God's Masterpiece, and I will see you the next time for my next tutorial. Thank you. See you next time.